Afghanistan is facing a severe water crisis due to drought, climate change, and population growth. The country has one of the lowest per capita water availability in the world, and only 12% of its land is arable. But now, Afghanistan is trying to tackle its water problem by building Asia's largest artificial river in the desert. This gigantic mega-project is already under and costs a staggering $500 million. So why is Afghanistan trying to build this giant artificial river mega-project? What will they use it for? And how exactly are they going to build it? So here in this video, we are going to show you the full documentary of Afghanistan's largest artificial river project. So before we dive into the video, hit subscribe for a front row so that you won't miss out on our interesting contents and be a part of our community. 2 years after Taliban's takeover of Afghanistan, they are overseeing its first major infrastructure project, the 115-mile Kosh Tepe Canal, designed to divert 20% of the water from the Amu Darya River across the parched plains of northern Afghanistan. The main canal is expected to be 285 kilometers long, and the overall initiative seeks to convert 550,000 hectares of desert into farmland. The Kosh Tepe Canal begins in Balkh province and is expected to end in Faryab while passing through Jozyan. The canal promises to be a game-changer for villages like Ishfaq in Jozyan province. Like elsewhere in the country, residents here are suffering from a confluence of worsening food shortages, 4 decades of war, 3 consecutive seasons of severe drought, and a changing climate that has wreaked havoc on rainfall patterns. Average temperatures across Afghanistan have risen by 1.8 degrees Celsius in the past 70 years. That is around 3.2 degrees Fahrenheit, or twice the global average. The Taliban-run government of Afghanistan has made the canal a priority project, and the construction began in early 2022, which is managed by the National Development Corporation, a state-owned enterprise under the Taliban government. The project employs over 5,500 workers and uses over 3,300 pieces of machinery. The first phase of the project was completed in October 2023, with the second phase immediately commencing. Once the canal is completed, it could irrigate more than 2,100 square miles of desert, effectively increasing Afghanistan's arable land by a third, and even making the country self-sufficient in food production for the first time since the 1980s. It could impact every household in the country, said Zabihullah Miri, the project's head engineer at the state-owned National Development Corporation. But for the internationally isolated Taliban, the canal represents a crucial test of its ability to govern. The canal project was initially conceived in the 1970s under the first Afghan president, Mohammad Daoud Khan, and construction finally began in 2021 under the last, Ashraf Ghani. When the Taliban seized power in August 2021, it inherited the project and swiftly approved about $100 million for its construction, amounting to about a quarter of Afghanistan's yearly tax income. About 6,000 workers are now operating excavators and heavy-duty trucks around the clock, working to carve a ditch 100 meters that is around 328 feet wide. Taliban leaders have seized the canal as a tool to burnish their image. The canal project faces several technical, financial, and political challenges. Some experts doubt that the Taliban government has the capacity and expertise to complete the complex engineering work required for the canal, such as building culverts, bridges, and irrigation systems. The project also needs a reliable source of funding, which may be difficult to secure given the economic crisis and sanctions imposed on Afghanistan. To save costs, the canal bed has not been sealed with cement, and along some stretches, briny groundwater has already seeped into the canal, tainting fresh water meant for irrigation. As of now, the canal will be built and financed not by international aid, but by Afghanistan's revenue from domestic coal mines. But overseas Afghan experts say the country could face challenges not only in building the mega canal, but also in operating it. Moreover, the canal project may have negative impacts on the environment and regional stability. The diversion of water from the Amu Darya River may worsen the situation of the Aral Sea, which has been shrinking due to excessive water use by upstream countries. The canal project may also trigger disputes with downstream countries, especially Uzbekistan, which relies on the Amu Darya River for its agriculture and hydropower. Uzbekistan has expressed concern that the canal will reduce its water share and affect its interests. In some rural areas of Afghanistan, workers collect mud to build a wall in the village of Kwaltagh in Daulatabad. In this village, the water from the wells is too acidic and salty because of depletion of water resources in the area. So, this project will of course be a game changer and provide some of their needs. In December 2023, it was reported that the Kash-Tepe Canal had experienced a major breach, with satellite imagery obtained from Sentinel-2 showing a large body of water stretching for 9 kilometers on the northern bank of the canal. The body of water was reported to increase further during the subsequent days. Afghan officials denied the reports, claiming the waters of the canal were temporarily redirected to a nearby area in a deliberate move. Independent experts and engineers have expressed skepticism and concern about the project, stating that the Afghan government does not possess the know-how to effectively complete the canal. In particular, they have noted that there is a lack of oversight, with rudimentary construction methods being employed. Najibullah Sadid, a water resources engineer and researcher at the Federal Waterways Engineering and Research Institute in Germany, said feasibility studies have shown that 22% of water would be lost to seepage along some sections. Sediment might also clog the intake mechanism where the canal joins the Amu Darya, potentially requiring prohibitively expensive repairs. Then there is this question of how much water Afghanistan will draw from the Amu Darya. Already, neighboring Uzbekistan and Turkmenistan have signaled their concerns that the reduced flow from the Amu Darya would affect their lucrative cotton fields. Uzbek Water Resources Minister Shavkat Kamrayev said that a delegation had been sent to Kabul to convey Uzbek concerns. Today, construction has progressed about 100 miles, reaching deep into a part of Afghanistan that researchers say has become increasingly desertified over the past century. Next to a turn in the Amu Darya, workers are still driving piles into the earth for the canal's intake. The first 30-mile stretch is already filled with groundwater, and workers have been experimenting with growing tree seedlings along graded banks, next to towering sand dunes. After that, the canal dries out. Overall, Asia's largest artificial river is being built in Afghanistan to address water scarcity and boost their economy. Therefore, it is significant. Ishfaq village chief Mohammed Ishfaq threw his hands up. If everyone could hold out for 2 more years, he said, then the excavators and engineers, hundreds of them already working over the horizon, would arrive. If we only had that water, Ishfaq said, everything will be solved. So, what are your thoughts about this canal? Is this going to be a huge success or an unforgettable disaster? Let us know in the comment section below. And that wraps up today's content. Thanks for watching. Make sure to give it a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to subscribe and turn on all notifications so that you won't miss out on our future contents. Let us know in the comments what you would like to see more.